Hey guys, this is Utopia here. I'm recording from a different mat. This mat was actually drawn. Yeah, this is Infinity Break in the background. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is playing conservatively, as you can see in the title. Yeah. So, I'm just going to be talking about playing conservatively. Going to have an example here. So what is playing conservatively? Now, when you hear somebody say, well, that guy's playstyle is real conservative, it's referring to they don't have a tendency to overextend or, quote, waste cards. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Now, picture this scenario, however you want to pronounce it. You're going first, and you are playing. I got a bunch of random cards here. You are playing a Junk Doppel. Yeah. And so this is your hand. You draw, and you got Junk Synchron, Level Eater, Quick Draw, Tour Guide, Call, and Gores. Now, your opponent doesn't know what your hand is, obviously. But you're looking at this hand and you say, I could do a ton of things with this hand. Yeah. So, first off, let's look at it this way. What's the most you can do? Well, if I wanted to totally overextend, I'd be like, okay, I'll pitch the Level Eater for Quick Draw, and then I'll summon Junk Synchron with his effect Special Level Eater, Synchron to Armory Arm, pretend there's Armory Arm there, and then eat off Quick Draw, Special, Synchron to Drill Warrior, and then maybe discard Call to remove Drill Warrior from play, and then boom, end your turn. Next turn you get all that back. Or that would be an explosive play. Now, a conservative play, or the average play. I'll get to the conservative play in a minute. The average play, as you notice, this is the hand real quick. I don't know if you can see all those, but the average play, what I probably would do with the playstyle that I have, I would probably summon the Tour Guide and special summon the Sangan in defense mode. And can it summon in defense mode? I don't know. Yeah, in defense mode. And then overlay for Zen mains, or maybe even leave it. But that's just me. That's what probably the average player would do if they had that hand. Now, a conservative play. You want to use the most minimum cards possible. Yes, Tour Guide is technically netting you a neutral, but it's still putting your card out there. Now, a play that someone who's maybe playing conservatively, I'm not saying that this is always what they would do, but they would simply just end their turn. Why? Because of this guy right here, Gores. Now, that tells your opponent that you probably have Gores, especially if you draw immediately and then immediately end your turn. They probably think you have, Gores, and they would play accordingly, and it would slow their playstyle down. Now, granted, not every player is going to say, I think he has Gores, but most of them may. And that's just a little, explanation, kind of example of what a conservative player may or may not do. Next thing I want to talk about here is that with conservative playing, you want to get the most out of your what are called power cards. Now, what are power cards? Power cards are, the most basic examples are going to be your Dark Hole, your Monster Reborn. Let's see if you can see those. Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm. I don't have Heavy Storm in the Infernities right now. I just grabbed them out of, a deck box. But another for a trap power card would be Torrential. maybe even some people run Mirror Force. Now those are power cards, and what they mean by power cards is that they are sometimes inherently always either a neutral or they +1. And so in conservative playing, you want to always, or at least most of the time, get a +1 out of your power cards. Now, what is a +1? Now, let's give this as an example. Your opponent has Gores. This is going to be on your opponent's side of the field. That's their side of the field. And you are going to draw into your dark hole as soon as I find it. I will get that to you in a second. Don't know why I shuffled. Anyway, and you draw into your dark hole. Now, you have no cards on your side of the field. You attack them directly. They got out Gores. You had to end. They suicided the token. And then ended their turn. You know, just because they can. And then you top deck into your dark hole. Now, this is what's called going neutral, or a 1-for-1. Is you activate your dark hole, and by using this one card out of your hand, you've destroyed one card on their side of the field. See how it's a 1-for-1 or a neutral because it kind of, you know, cancels each other out. Now, what players refer to as a +1, and this isn't always what's called a +1. There's other things people call +1s. Is say your opponent has 2 monsters out in the field, and you top deck your dark hole, and you play your dark hole. Now, you just played one card to get rid of 2. And so, basically, think about it as these canceling each other out, and then this going for free. And that's called a +1. And that's what you want to do while you're playing conservatively, is that you always want to try to get pluses out of your power cards. Now, that, like I said, that isn't always what people call a +1. It's not the only thing we call a +1. Or a plus, either way. Now, a perfect example of this is when you're playing Infernities and you top deck your Archfiend. Let's say you have absolutely nothing. Your entire graveyard's set up, but you top deck your Archfiend. Now, just imagine, I'm not even going to go into detail, I'm not even going to give an example, but imagine if your opponent has nothing. This is excluding your opponent, but imagine your field at the end of the turn when you top deck this Archfiend. Now, you top deck one card, and by special summoning that one card, in the end, you inevitably have a, let's say, a 3 barriers and like 2 of the big dragons on the field. So let's say you have 5 cards at the end of your turn. Now from one card came 4, or 5, and so it's 4 more than you originally had, so that's what we would call a +4. You know, that's just some, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Terminology. And with conservative playing, that's what you want to try to do. And sometimes there's decks that are based on conservative playing. For instance, anti-meta decks. You summon your Thunder King, and they summon an 1800 attack, that Constellar, whatever monster it is, that allows you to special summon another one from their hand. Now that has 1800 attack. That can't get over your Thunder King. And so they have to special summon another level 4. There's their first one. It's effect. They special summon their other level 4. These still can't get over your Thunder King, so the only way they have to do it is to overlay into an Xyz monster, and from that, you just use your one Thunder King to negate the summon of a monster that took 2, or an Xyz monster that took 2 to summon it. And so decks like anti-meta and stuff, they're based around a competitive play style. And yeah, anyway, that's what I want to talk about today. If you guys want more of these videos, comment, rate, subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.